Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you to our Knob Noster High School band and our cheerleaders for that great welcome. At this time, please rise and remain standing as our Triad Air Force JROTC Color Guard presents the colors, followed by the national anthem that's going to be sung by our Knob Noster High School choir. And please remain standing until we ask you to be seated.
Reset. Oh.
If it's your tradition, please join with me as we offer up a prayer. If not, please join us in just a moment of your own silence. Our Father, we just thank you for this time to be able to gather here together, Lord, at this just a monumental occasion, just to be able to mark this groundbreaking for our new high school. We just pray, God, that you would just help this to be just a facility where we are able to train the next leaders of our future, and God, that those leaders would just be able to go out and do amazing and great things to be able to not only shine forth the name of Knob Noster and themselves, but also, Lord, just to be able to shine forth your name and your glory. We just pray, God, that you give us wisdom as we continue to work to bring this building on hand. We pray for safety for all those involved as they build, and God, that you would just watch over them, bless their hands, and just help them to be able to make this a facility that just continues to see Knob Noster grow and flourish, not only here in our community, but all throughout the world. We just pray, God, that you just continue to bless this district, and that you help it to continue to grow and just be just an amazing light in this area. And we just pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, it is my honor to welcome to the podium Dr. Jared Wheeler, Superintendent of Knob Noster Schools.
All right, well, good morning, everyone. It is great to see each of you here today, and look forward to working through this program. It's taken us about 60 years to get to this point, students, so we're going to take our time and really tell the story from start to finish today. So cue in, we appreciate your attention, and very, very happy to celebrate with you. So on behalf of our Board of Education and our partners, it is my pleasure to welcome each of you here today to our groundbreaking ceremony for the all-new Knob Noster High School Polytechnic Campus. I would like to begin with a welcome to our city and county leaders, our military leaders, our teachers, our parents, our community members and partners, and most importantly, our students who have taken time to be here today. So for our underclassmen, we're getting this done for you guys. For our upperclassmen that joined us today, my only regret is that we weren't able to get here faster, but we do appreciate you taking time to serve this groundbreaking today and to show your leadership for those who will follow you. Students, today is a very special day for your future. In a few short years, you will be returning to this site as our upperclassmen. Like this site, which is a blank slate with a bright future ahead, each of you has a story to write during your time at Knob Noster High School. Continue to work hard to make your story a great one. We have a great lineup of speakers today who will join me in telling the story of this project. I think you will enjoy hearing of how we arrived here today. Following the ceremony, we encourage each of you to stick around, take photos, and be sure to grab a commemorative shovel and postcard. So here we go with the story. Shortly after I joined the district in 2005, our then board president, Mary Ann Matthews, who is here with us today, came to me, and if you know Mary Ann, she's quite the character. But we sat down in my office and started talking about what we can do as a school district to better serve our community and to prepare for the future. She presented me with the concept of constructing a new high school, which the board believed would serve as a catalyst for school and community growth, vitality, and sustainability. At the time, we were in the early stages of aligning to the future B-21 and supporting missions that were in queue to land at Whiteman Air Force Base. Yes, that was a decade ago, and here we are today. While the mission placement was somewhat uncertain at that time, what we did know for certain is that strong schools, strong installations, and strong communities go hand in hand. From that initial conversation, we then began the strategic planning process to prepare for the future and to ensure that our community added strength and value to the mission set. One of the first orders of business was selection of a site for the project. Soon after that initial conversation with Mrs. Matthews, I received a call from board member Tom Hughes. Unfortunately, Tom was not able to be here today, but I know he is here in spirit. He invited me to a meeting with the previous owner of this property, Mr. Larry Smith. Over a cup of coffee and a slice of pie, Mr. Smith and Mr. Hughes shared with me the historical significance of this property and its meaning to the Knob Noster community. Students, you are probably not aware, but many of your grandparents and parents likely enjoyed many concerts, campouts, cookouts, and fellowship on this very property when the Smith Jamboree Park welcomed in musicians from around the nation to perform here at this campground, including a few performers who went on to perform on the stages of the Grand Ole Opry. We look forward to continuing the legacy of community engagement that will take place on this site as our new high school takes center stage as the hub of community activities and fellowship for the next 75 years and beyond. From initial discussion to today, Knob Noster School District has experienced a growth rate of 50% in student enrollment, up from around 1,400 students in 2015 to over 2,100 students today. This growth rate has resulted in overcrowding in our schools, especially in our elementary schools, which will be addressed when this facility comes online in August 26, and we're able to roll our students up to alleviate that overcrowding at our elementary schools. As expected, last month the Department of Defense officially announced that Whiteman Air Force Base will receive the B-21 mission as main operating base 2. Woohoo! Air power. This mission is aligned to bring an estimated 250 to 300 more students to our community. Also on the cusp, our Missouri General Assembly is strongly considering open enrollment for military students, which will continue to bring students into our wonderful school district. This campus will serve as a clear message to the Department of Defense and to DESE. Knob Noster Public Schools has and will continue to stand ready to support Whiteman Air Force Base and the mission of freedom that it protects for us every day. We say this often and loudly, but when our service members are out taking care of our nation's business around the world, we want to know in the back of their mind that they know for certain that their students are being taken care of back home in Knob Noster. So along with its historical significance, this site was also purposefully selected with the goal of driving residential growth in Knob Noster, which is a bedroom community for Whiteman Air Force Base. We expect that growth to take place in the uninhabited parcels of land north of Highway 50 that are immediately adjacent to this campus. I'm pleased to share that local developer Jeff Hanna, who's here with us today, and his wife will be moving in conjunction with our groundbreaking to break ground on a new 200-home residential development just a quarter mile over the tree line behind us, offering direct access to this school site. Like Mr. Hanna, we continue to hold talks with other residential and commercial developers to bring more housing and amenities to the Knob Noster community. Mr. Hanna, who sees the value of this project as it relates to new investments to grow and strengthen the vitality of Knob Noster community, is not like others in the region. So let's talk money. Oh, I got your attention. Great. Thank you. Wherever Jackson is, I know I got his attention too on that one. So over the last decade, Knob Noster Public Schools has received over $15 million in unique grant funding, which has helped create a remarkable storyline of success for our students and teachers as they take advantage of the unique academic programming that these grants offer. Up until this year, these grants have focused on strengthening and expanding academic programs for our students. However, at the end of this month, Mr. Coron and I, along with our teammates, will travel to Virginia to accept another $1.25 million grant from DODEA. But this time, the grant funding is aligned to land directly in the pockets of our teachers as we seek to strengthen retention and recruitment of high-quality educators to serve our students. But our grant making doesn't stop there. I'm pleased to announce that along with this project, we will encompass a $5.25 million FEMA grant, which will come in the form of a community safe room and monolithic dome gymnasium. So I want to point out two very important things. Number one, if my records are correct, that is the largest single grant awarded to any single project in the history of the program in Missouri. We were aggressive, and we want to say thank you to our friends at Toth and Associates for their support along the way, as well as Insight Design. That is it's a point of pride for our community, for enhancing safety for our students and our families and for our base, but it will also serve as a command hub in the instance of a post-crisis incident. We don't have to look any further than what's going on in Florida right now to know that natural disasters happen. This project will protect lives and support our community if needed following an incident. As we break ground today, I want to send a very special thank you to our partners at the Department of Defense Education Activity for their ongoing support, trust, and opportunity that they have given us. They have become not only partners, but also close friends of Knob Noster Public Schools. We will continue to pursue DODEA grants to provide innovative programs that will align students for prosperous careers that support mission workforce requirements on base and throughout the region, allowing Knob Noster graduates to secure world-class employment right here in Knob Noster. Thanks for the claps, Mr. Coron. That cued me up well. I would be remiss not to pause and send a very special thank you to my closest partner in this storyline, Mr. Michael Coron, our Deputy Superintendent, and let's give him a round of applause. Any given day, depending on the task, either one of us can either be behind the wheel or riding shotgun for the other as we execute the school district's mission. This is what true friendship and a true partnership looks like, and every day we continue to work hard together to bring enhanced opportunities to our students, teachers, and community. Mr. Coron, thank you for everything, and it's a true joy and pleasure to work with you. So what does all this mean? You guys will continue to hear us say this. You know, the Chiefs are going for a three-peat, and most of us are cheering them on. A three-peat has never happened in the NFL, as I understand it. We can top that here in Knob Noster. So for 6 years running, and we're just getting started, Knob Noster High School has ranked as Missouri's #1 rural high school for career and college readiness by U.S. News and World Report. We have with us today one of our partners that helped get that started, former high school principal, Mrs. Connie Morris, and her assistant, Adam Easterwood, is down as superintendent of Leeton today, probably dealing with some ornery kids or something. But oh, he is here. Where are you? Oh, there you are. He was recently on Good Morning America. I wasn't sure if this would meet your level of engagement, but if you missed that, be sure to look that up. But those two partners helped get this storyline started, and they passed the torch over to our current principal, Leslie Brown, and William Dow, our current assistant principal at the high school, to keep this storyline going. But that success doesn't happen by accident. It happens by great leadership, world-class teachers, and students that understand the opportunity, that step up to the mission and knock it out of the park. So students, congratulations. But we don't just compete well here in Missouri. Along with our ongoing record as Missouri's top rural school district, we're also incredibly proud that when the Air Force recently chose to evaluate all 154 installations in the nation, including those outside of Boston and Cambridge and Fairfax County, Virginia, some very, very affluent areas of our nation, Whiteman Air Force Base came out #1. That is a more global testament to the kind of education, the kind of students, and the kind of educators that we have here in Knob Noster. Along with these headlines, there are countless local, state, and national awards that Knob Noster students and teachers continue to accumulate year after year after year. You better believe that Insight Design did a great job when they designed this high school to include many purpose-built trophy cases and displays to capture the ongoing success stories of our Knob Noster students. Today marks the beginning of an exciting new chapter in the history of Knob Noster Public Schools. We have to look all the way back to 1962 to find the last time ground was broken on a new school building in Knob Noster. I want to take one more moment to say thank you to the members of our current Board of Education for your vision, your courage, and your resolve to press forward with this project despite all obstacles. It takes strong leadership, conviction to your values, and peace in your purpose to accomplish a project like this, especially in the highly complex circumstances of a heavily military impacted community. There are only about 20 school districts like us across the entire nation, and our board is doing a great job of continuing to be out in front as a model for the nation. You've accomplished something that has not occurred in more than 60 years, and for that, we owe you a tremendous thank you. Once again, we have an amazing lineup for you today. Thank you for your attention, and cue into these guys. They each have a part of this storyline to share with you. Students, we hope it's something that you will remember not just today, not just in 2 years when we ribbon cut and get you guys walking the hallways of this fine facility, but for years and decades to come. It's a joy to celebrate the future of our community with you, and we are glad each one of you has taken time to join us today. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome our Knob Noster Board of Education President, Mr. Grant Jones, to share a few words.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for taking time to join us today for such a special occasion. We say this quite often around here, but today it is an especially great day to be a Knob Noster Panther. We are so excited about this project means for the students and families of Knob Noster and Whiteman Air Force Base as we continue the legacy of academic excellence in our schools. I would like to follow on Dr. Wheeler's words to say thank you to the board members, both past and present, for moving this forward from vision to results for our community. In an age where we face more uncertainties perhaps than any other time in the history of our great nation, one thing is clear. There is no responsibility in our community that is more important than uniting together to support and raise our children in a safe, supportive, and nurturing environment. Along with our strong academics, the Board of Education continues to invest in programs aligned to establish quality character, citizenship, and patriotism for our students, employees, and community. Working together, we continue to achieve uncommon outcomes for our students. To that point, I would like to recognize both Knob Noster Elementary and Whiteman Elementary for their recent recognition from Steve Covey's The Leader in Me. This program is embedded into our schools to help establish quality, habits, and character traits in our students beginning in pre-kindergarten through graduation. Both elementary schools received Covey's top award, the Lighthouse Award, recognizing excellence in student leadership development. The board and I extend a special thank you to our parents, grandparents, community members for your ongoing partnership and support of our fantastic students. Over the last decade, the growth in student population has not occurred by accident. Our growth has occurred because Knob Noster Public Schools has become the educational destination of choice for the Whiteman area. In the last 10 years, the district has opened doors to the Little Wingman Preschool, offering free education for 3 and 4-year-olds. We have added programs in aviation, advanced manufacturing, computer science, cybersecurity, advanced college placement, world language, and a whole host of athletic and activities, from soccer to trap shooting to esports to robotics. As a result of our unique and progressive school, we have seen a significant increase in student enrollment, up 50% from a decade ago. And the next decade could see even greater growth. With the recent official announcement of the B-21 mission landing at Whiteman, we expect to see a growth of another 250 to 300 students in the near future. As a district, we will continue to be ready to serve our students and our families while continuing to strengthen the mission at Whiteman Air Force Base. Altogether, the trajectory of continuous improvement and growth within Knob Noster Public Schools is embodied in this new high school project. This project is designed to not only serve our students, but it is also aligned to serve as a catalyst for residential and economic growth in our community. It will also serve as an anchor for recruitment and retention of excellent educators, support staff, and coaches to serve our students for decades to come. Once again, thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to joining you on this site in the decades ahead as we cheer on our students in our classrooms and on our courts, fields, and stages, as we prepare our students to make a positive impact in the United States of America and beyond. And lastly, I would be remiss to not tell the kids personally as you are leaders in our schools, as you graduate and move forward, do not be passive. Continue to be leaders once you get out. Get active in your communities. And lastly, Board of Education, we are open. We want your feedback from the community. We need to hear from you guys in person, and we just encourage you guys to do that. And at this time, I would like to welcome Brian Foxworthy, President of Insight Design Studio, to share a few words.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm going to go off script a little bit. I kind of got all this last night, and I didn't want to memorize it and all that, so I'm going to go off script a little bit. Been doing this a long time, 25 years designing schools. I've met hundreds of school districts and administrators, superintendents, boards, and I can honestly say I've never met anyone so dedicated to the kids of their district than Dr. Wheeler. Mike, this is when you he is one of the most persistent son of guns I've ever met in my life. Get knocked down, he'd get back up again, more positive than the last time. Like, he'd be calling us, well, that didn't work out, but we're going to do this. So we've been doing this for a long time, and I appreciate you. I appreciate the board for sticking with Dr. Wheeler and us, and couldn't have done it without you. I know you're saying a lot of kind things about other people. Somebody needs to say something kind about you, so we appreciate you. We started this process 8 years ago. 2016, we were hired to do a facility master plan. What is the future of Knob Noster Schools? What do these kids have to look forward to over the next 5, 10, 15 years? So the first aspect of that long-range plan was doing a facility assessment analysis. So we had engineers, architects walking through every facility in the district, kind of judging it, see what we need to do to upgrade the facilities. It became evident that the staff keeps these buildings up great. The condition of the buildings wasn't really the issue. Capacity was an issue, as Dr. Wheeler mentioned. But the other thing we started looking at was educational adequacy. You know, what kind of programs are offered at Knob Noster that the building just doesn't react to? So this is not unusual for school districts with aging buildings. Education was much different 50, 60 years ago. So what are we looking at here? What programs are coming up? What do we want to do? It became evident that the building itself was dictating what programs we can offer here. So we wanted to flip that script, and we meeting with staff and the leaders of the schools, we determined that the high school needed something different. It's time to flip the script. It's time that the programs dictate the architecture. And yes. And that's what you're going to find. When you walk through this building, front and center, you're going to see career readiness. You're going to see the technical aptitude of what these students can do right when you walk in the door. The Panther pride is going to be showing from the moment you walk through those doors. So I'm going to hire Mr. Coron to be my yay guy from now on. He's really good at it. In addition, I'd like to thank our team. Our team's over here, talented designers and technicians in architecture and educational design. All our consultants. Toth is here that helped get this grant. They're also the structural engineers. And Navholz Construction, we've been working with them for some time on this project. And we're just so excited. So at this time, I'm going to welcome Mitchell Femler up to the podium.
All right, thanks, Brian. So this is a big moment when you're a builder. You're getting ready to come out here and come on site, and you might picture our role just starting, but really we've been partnered up with the district, Dr. Wheeler, Insight Design, the whole board really for the last 7 years, helping this vision come to life. Like Brian mentioned, there's a lot of program we want to fit in this space, and how do we do it with the dollars available? That was our role. We helped make sure we maximize the program and set this project up for success as we move into this construction phase. So yeah, thanks again, Dr. Wheeler. It's really been a fun journey to this point. You may not realize our team spent about as many hours now up to this time as we would have moving forward over the next 21 months. So we've been very excited, very anxiously waiting this day, as I'm sure all of you are as well. and really, kind of our role on this job is that eye to the bottom line, what that end product is. Um, so as over the next 21 months, you'll see this project take shape kind of right behind us. We've picked this high point in the hill where you're going to pull up here, you see the dome and a lot of the space in behind it. And it's just a beautiful site. I mean, the history of this site's great, but also what it leads to the architecture of the building and the safety and logistics of our team being able to come up here. Everybody will be able to see where we're at, where to come, and it's going to be a great project for us to get started on. And it's really exciting for us in these moments. Bleachers are filled right now with students anxiously waiting, really waiting for the speakers to be done talking probably. But I do want to say, cherish this moment. You're going to be active with this project over the next 2 years, and then be able to walk the halls and say, I was part of that. I helped build that. And if our role can be to get you on this site and spark that little passion of construction, then maybe I start recruiting some people to the construction industry as well. So we definitely look forward to anybody who wants to come out for tours. Check in with our team. Our top priority really is the safety and security of this site, and making sure all the men and women working on our job site go home safely. But we also want to make sure it is open to the community, and we continue celebrating this exciting project as we continue on. And really, we'll do that virtually as well. A couple board updates, different opportunities along the way. And then I really want to make sure I thank all the contractors that will be involved. It's not just Nabholz that can build a project like this. You're seeing Tom Corbett, Cale Seymour already being involved in these projects, and thank them for their efforts to date. We also have more than 30, We're getting ready to put out the drawings for bid, so if anybody here is in the construction industry, there's still opportunity to be involved in this project. Come see me afterwards. There's going to be 30 more packages, and really there will be hundreds of workers that end up working on this site, likely a lot living around this community, supporting the district financially, and so we will make sure those opportunities are there as we're going to work nearly 100,000 man hours to put this project in place. So once again, congratulations, Knob Noster School District. It's very exciting. We're looking forward to the next 21 months leading up to August of 2026. Hold me to that date. We're all excited for it, so we'll have it on the sign. But at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Harry Roberts, Missouri military advocate.
Good morning, and Dr. Wheeler, thanks for having me here. People think Missouri military advocate. I think it's probably fair to say what I do, because that doesn't really explain it. But I am fortunate to be appointed by Governor Parson to this position, and my role is to serve as the executive director of the Missouri Military Preparedness and Enhancement Commission. And in that role, I help coordinate Missouri's efforts to not only enhance but maintain all of our military installations, missions, and personnel, and then also work with our defense contractors, such as companies you may have heard of like Boeing and Honeywell. They're located here in Missouri. So first of all, again, thank you. It's a privilege to be here. In this role, in working with my commission is based of 7 members appointed by the governor, and then also 2 that come out of the Missouri House and 2 that come out of the Missouri Senate. So it's an 11-member commission to get around the initiatives that Missouri has, actually for you all. And we have one of our commissioners here, Mr. Greg Franken. He also serves on the Global Strike Civil Leadership Committee, and he stays very involved. So I'm delighted to have Greg Franken here too today. I have a great job. I get to work with lots of leaders in our military, and lots of civic leaders that help support our installations. So I'm I'm very privileged, and I feel very privileged today because this is a big deal. With the recent announcement of the B-21, for sure, coming to Whiteman, it's going to bring a lot more personnel positions, which is going to create a lot other types of work here in this area. And I can't think of a better time to be talking about that than now within the last 30 days. It takes a committed board and committed leadership at a school district to pull off something like this. There's not that many new schools built in this state unless it's a brand new community. So to have the total commitment to get this done, you all have achieved a lot that this community I see out here totally supports, and that's a big deal. So congratulations to you all for making this day happen. Everybody. I have the honor and privilege to introduce Major General Kenneth Eves. He's been stationed here before, and he definitely has Whiteman in this area on his mind. He goes by the call sign of Willie B, so you might carouse him afterwards and find out where that story came from. It's a well-worth story. So, General, thank you.
All right, for the students, here's the good news. I'm the last speaker. Bad news is they gave me 30 minutes, so I apologize for that. So we've recognized a lot of folks today, but we've missed one key individual, and that's the person who woke up this morning and realized that they have to wear the mascot outfit all morning long. So let's hear it for the mascot. On behalf of General Boussier, Air Force Global Strike Command Commander, that's why I'm here today. He sends his regrets, wishes he could be here, but he definitely wanted me here to represent him and to thank Dr. Wheeler, your team, and the community partners for the great support that the men and women, and more importantly the families at Whiteman Air Force Base are getting through the school district, and all the other things that the community partners do. So thank you for everything from General Boussier. I will add a little bit to the story. So I was stationed here in 2008. I had the privilege of having 4 kids raised in Knob Noster. All 4 graduated from Knob Noster High School, contrary to their dad being able to academically get through the program. But when we first arrived here in 2008, if you don't know this, the active duty commanders, many of them are required to live on base. And back in when I was here and before then, it was not uncommon for them to look for using the process to move their kids to Warrensburg. I will tell you, as I left and toward the end of the teens and into the 20s, we had flipped that script. Yeah. And Warrensburg was losing their kids to Knob Noster, and that's a testament to what the Knob Noster School team does for Whiteman Air Force Base, and we appreciate that. It really kind of hit home for me during COVID. For those that were in the Knob Noster area for COVID, we had to shut down the schools. Kids were doing remote school, which was horrifying for parents. Much good appreciation for the teachers at that point. But I found out that every kid in Knob Noster had a laptop issued by Knob Noster School District, which I learned was actually unique. And not all schools could do that. It was just a testament to what this school district does for the kids, not just the military kids, but all the kids in the Knob Noster School District. So we appreciate that. But it's not just the education that y'all provide. And so I like to tell this story. Some of y'all have heard this story before. B-2, $2.2 billion airplane. So a few years ago, it was flying a training mission out west over Colorado. Airplane is a highly electric aircraft, and it runs off of 4 generators. It needs most of those generators to work normal. They had a generator problem, and there's these little switches, and I'll probably butcher the crud out of this, so I apologize to the B-2 pilots in here because it's been a while since I've flown it. But you can decouple the generators from the engines to protect them in case there's a problem, and they had a generator problem, so they shut off one generator. They had an engine problem, so they shut that engine off, which that cost them a second generator. Well, the pilot, and sits in the left seat by those switches, was getting back into the seat from doing something behind the seat and happened to get a cord wrapped around one of the switches, and it accidentally turned off the third of 4 generators. Needless to say, that created a pretty critical situation. They ended up having to emergency divert into an airport in Colorado. Did a great job, but it highlighted something that had been going on for years. Here's where the story is interesting. Never have I seen this before, and I don't know if I'll ever see it again, but the base actually worked with the STEM team at Knob Noster High School. And they designed, built, and tested in 3 days a cover for these switches. Spent about, what was it, $1.90 something, $1.95 a cover. Now, any Northrop folks here? So that would have cost $1 million from Northrop, and it would have taken 4 years to develop. The only complaint that the Northrop engineers had about the cover that the high school team built was that it would not withstand 600-degree temperatures. Right. Neither do the pilots, so we didn't care. So fast forward, it took a few days, but the high school built enough of those for the B-2 fleet, and was enough of a motivation for the engineers to finally go and design covers for this thing. I believe they've got them now, but you want to talk about innovation, you want to talk about engagement, you want to talk about support. It is unimaginable what Knob Noster kids and teachers and team can do, and what they've done to support the base, not just in education, but even in something. I mean, you're talking about a $1.95 project that saves a $2.2 million airport. So again, from General Boussier and from me, to all of Team Knob Noster, both in the school district and the folks that support our civic leaders, thank you for what you do for the service members and their families at Whiteman, and for the community at whole. And with that said, let's flip some dirt.
What are you going up there?
Hi, Tab, Marianne.
All right, now, can you do me one favor? Just a picture. Going around. That goes in the back. There you go. I didn't want you to look bad in the picture, but should have
All right, guys. Everybody ready? Go. Toss it.
Toss it!
All right, well, students, we are always proud of you, but again, thank you for your attention and for joining us today. I'm going to throw out a couple other little teasers for you guys. We have a brand new mascot. He's made a couple of she We don't know what the gender is quite yet on our mascot. We can define that, and then most importantly, our mascot doesn't have a name. So stand by, but you'll be hearing from Mrs. Brandt and our team on a naming ceremony for our Knob Noster Panther, so that we can embed him into our program here, especially in our student leadership program and our character program that's so very important to our school district. To our community, thank you again for being here today. It means a lot to us for you to take this time. We encourage you to stick around, grab some photos by the rendering. If you want to come up and throw a hard hat on and turn some dirt, you're welcome to do that. Students, you're welcome for keeping you out of class today. Again, thank you. Let's go give the Huskers some heck tonight up there in Higginsville. And encourage everybody to come out and cheer on the Panthers. Have a great day. We look forward to celebrating with you over the next 2 years.